Hello everyone, how's it going? In this video I'll be looking at the town overview for the Conflux. Conflux is vastly different than any other town in this game. I knew it was bad, but it wasn't until I looked at the stats that I didn't realize just how bad it was. So why don't we just jump right into this and take a look at how it stacks up. So, as expected, Pixies are garbage. They have the worst health, attack, defense, damage. Fantastic speed though, but just garbage everything else. They are obviously the cheapest level 1 unit. Now, air elementals and water elementals, these are quite possibly the strongest level 2s and 3s in the game. Air elementals definitely are the strongest. They hit harder than most level 3s and they're only a level 2. So we have highest of everything except for minimum damage, but you are twice the cost of other level 2 units. Water elementals have the highest health, defense, and max damage, so very tanky units. Just haste them and send them into the front line and they can definitely hold their own. 100 gold per unit, more than the average unupgraded level 3, but still it's a very, very powerful unit. The upgrades from air elemental to storm and water elemental to ice, I feel like it's worth looking at, because you're obviously paying to turn these into archers, but what's happening to them statistically? Air elementals to storm elementals stay fantastic, their minimum damage drops off and their speed drops off, but other than that you have a very, very strong level 2 unit. Water elementals actually return to above average but not best health, still have highest defense, have above average but not the best max damage. They get even slower and they lose a little bit of attack relative to the average. So water elementals kind of fade off, whereas air elementals stay very strong. So definitely worth the upgrade from air to storm. Water to ice, you might want to hold off a little bit. Really just depends on the game you're in, but looking at a statistical point of view, you're not really gaining a lot for what you're paying for. So mid-game is just garbage for Conflux, to be honest. Your fire elementals and your earth elementals just do no damage whatsoever. In fact, they do the same damage as your air and water elementals, so the damage is the same across the board. Fire elementals above average health and above average speed, but terrible defense and average attack, so these are just squishy, low damaging units. Just kind of put them next to an archer and hope they don't get attacked. Earth elementals are below average across the board except for min damage and max speed. Psychic elementals, solidly subpar unit. They have the nice utility where they can attack around them, and they are at least 100 cheaper than average. I think this is like 870 or something like that. So you have the cheapest level 6, the cheapest level 7 in the Firebird, 1500 compared to about 2170 or something like that. Worst health, worst max damage, highest speed, average across the board. So your mid game is garbage. You absolutely want to get out of the mid game and into the late game as soon as possible. Your late game, your energy elementals, garbage. Your magma elementals, garbage. Magic elementals are at least now doing above average max damage, so if you bless them and send them in, they can do quite a lot of damage. And then Phoenixes, worst health, worst damage, highest speed. Your strength is definitely in numbers with the Conflux. You have the most powerful early game because of how strong the air and water elementals are. Stay away from fire and earth elementals. They just don't do the damage to be worth the cost. And then your water elementals are definitely worth it, but they do fall off. So Conflux, obviously your strength is in numbers. So that sums up the Conflux. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.